Yeah, so the map is indeed Altai. We have not seen Altai today, I think. And in the bottom, it kind of actually is just the west. In the west, in the blue, it is going to be Leenock. His last shot at winning this series. Okay, he has 2 more shots if he wins this one, of course.
Did you see that? Okay, and we have Hera
rally,
as red, playing as the Rus. And did you see that control clicking of that town center on that scout?
Yeah, I do this as well.
Glorious.
I do this with my second scout, but I do it only when I have like a hunting cabin, to be honest. But obviously he doesn't because he's playing the French.
Yeah. I absolutely love that control click. I mean the shift clicking.
Yeah, that's cool because it kind of, if you have some downtime early, like you don't have to do anything. You can just obviously control your units better this way. So
absolutely.
Yeah, we have Hera actually just kind of opening the standard way. I think he knows where the wolves are. He knows what to do. He's just gonna, I guess, send this guy. I think there should be like some wolves over here. One here and probably one alongside the way, like in the mountains here, right? So those are the 2 that you want to get.
Mike, do you see that relic in the middle of the mountains? Look at it, fortified.
Yeah, but it's easily accessible, like from 3 sides.
No, to the north, actually, to the north of Hera's base.
Oh yeah, that's actually a nice kind of that's kind of a snail shell, right, leading up all the way there.
This is really nice. Actually, the regular shaped mountains, not like the Lipany ones.
Yeah.
That we've seen once.
Yeah, those are not the crazy mountains. There's no crazy town here. Okay, so generally speaking, I think there's gonna be Hera just getting what he needs, which is 250. I don't think there's any way you can stop this, really. Like, Hera knows what the wolves are. Like, Lipany is not hard to tell, even. So he's gonna get those. I think he's just gonna get those 2 that I kind of mentioned before. Has he got? No, he actually didn't go for it. So Leenock knows where the wolf is, but no, Leenock doesn't read that. Leenock does.
Okay. He did, yeah.
So Leenock knows, but Hera didn't know about this one. So that's the thing. Like, now we just have to kind of. Yeah, there is a wolf here that Leenock is going to also take. I think he's actually doing a very good job at controlling those.
Yeah, and denying the resources.
Yeah, Hera has 160. He needs somewhat more. He's gonna get this wolf, I believe. So that's kind of nice. But he needs more. I mean, yeah, this is also a hand that's going to be taken by Leenock. He is also going to deny that wolf. Hera is going to head to... He knows this is the only hand there is on the map left. And I think Leenock is going to get the majority of it before any scout arrives. Because kind of Hera is still a way off. He can take the wolf. I think that's the only kind of consolation prize he can take right now. And Leenock also did a good job with the sheep, right? He has like nice control over the sheep numbers.
And he has the sheep and he has the wolf. Still munching on his back.
Yeah. And he cleans up the entire hunt here as well, so that's great. Hera, I think Hera might be forced to contest those wolves. Like, he might be forced to take this one home, at least. So I'd love to see him like, kind of use those scouts to get that done. I don't think he has enough sheep, because Leenock took the majority of the sheep from the map.
Yep. So Hera is at 220 bounty. I think you need 250, right?
Yeah, 250 it is, but he doesn't have enough sheep even, because Leenock took everything of the map.
And took the extra wolf. Oh no, that's gonna hurt. He still has to find 30 bounty somewhere, so that's a wolf and a sheep. But I don't think that there is any bounty left on the map.
No, because Hera needed this wolf here. He needed to take this one. Yeah. He was gonna be fine, and 1 sheep more.
Absolutely.
This is just very good play by Leenock, just kind of, denying every single point of access. And Leenock is just gonna kind of say, okay, I'm gonna take the mill here. I'm gonna build those take those carcasses myself as well. That's what I need. I think it might be also like some sort of fast castle from the English, right? Sorry, from the French right now, because he doesn't care. I think he knows he denied enough so that he can actually just he might just go for fast castle or something. Or he might just go aggressive. We really don't know this yet.
And Hera is trying to deny that gold income from Leenock. Like, look at it. Look at that micro nerd. You love to see it.
He's not doing much here. Like, he hasn't accomplished anything in those scouts.
No, he has, because look at that. Leenock can only afford 1 real knight, and that stable is gonna be idle. I mean, that school of cavalry is gonna be idle afterwards. Right? He doesn't have enough for an extra knight.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, yeah, but he's gonna have... I would say this is kind of irrelevant. it's going to be very kind of small delay, and obviously he also spends some of his APM doing this, so he's not gonna. I don't know. I think he kind of knows there's not a single wolf left on the map though, so that's kind of sad.
He might be able to get that bounty from a
Landmark.
no, from a boar. So.
Oh, later, yeah, sure. Yeah, it's kind of long way off still. He needs a lot to get the boar down.
And first of all, he has to deal with those Royal Knights, which is gonna be really, really annoying for him.
Yep, and obviously you see that he's also getting like lots of gold. 8 villages mean it's kind of indicating that he will go for more than just knights. I think unless he's just trying to make up for the kind of difference that he was denied initially.
I think he was trying to make up the difference and also go for some eco upgrades, because that stable is still not being dropped down. And keep in mind that French have 30% cheaper upgrades, so
yeah,
it might still be on the table, right?
He's also getting the mining upgrade actually very, very early on. Yeah, he's getting the wheelbarrow that you love.
Yeah, so the standard upgrades that I always take.
Yeah, but it's kind of uncommon, isn't it, for people to take those, like to take those eco upgrades so early. Like usually just go cast and then you get those because they cost gold. Both of those, like both the wheelbarrow, and that's why he maybe had those villagers there. Both he's actually gonna get the the double brodax as well.
Every single upgrade he's just gonna take instead of pumping out knights. I really don't agree with that because you kind of need that map presence.
Yeah.
But I think he thinks that Hera is gonna just make professional scouts, right?
Yeah.
And those knights won't do all that well against professional scouts, which is just gonna yoink those deers and maybe, you know, fight him off with spears. So.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Right now he's just gonna get that wheelbarrow. He's just gonna enjoy himself. I'm really not sure about this. Like, it's gonna take a long time for this to pay off, which kind of indicates that Leenock is gonna be shooting for a longer game. Then I guess he's just gonna allow Hera to go after castle. Hera is not really gonna do this, he's just gonna push. Because Hera made some infrastructure, he doesn't want those units to go to waste, he's just gonna go across and try to contest his opponent. I think he's enough.
And his opponent has 2 Royal Knights only, that's not enough. Especially that they are still not upgraded with that chivalry upgrade, right? They still do not regenerate HP, the chivalry upgrade is on the way though.
Yeah, but
it's not gonna kick in.
No production.
It's not gonna kick in. Yeah.
He needs like this. At least another stable, I would say. Like, and especially this archery range is super late too.
I don't think that a secondary archery range would be a good call because I think he just needs a few bowmen to deal with those pesky spears because even the Royal Knights are terrible against spears, right? Right now, they currently get stunned, and
yeah, you just have to run into them. You cannot charge. You have to run into them and then auto attack. Then you don't get the charge penalty.
Exactly, and if you by mistake charge into them, then basically you cannot turn that knight away, right? And perhaps save him from the death because he will be stunned, and before he gets out of that stun, he'll die. So I think that Hera is trying to pick up the reinforcements right now.
I mean, the nice part for Leenock is that he's actually working with a very strong eco, because not only is he playing French, he's also getting those upgrades, so he's actually over time going to accumulate way more resources than his opponent. It's gonna take a while though, because he has like, not only does he have more villagers, that's a very bad rally point though, you can't be doing this. He realized that he's gonna re-rally this immediately, but
to the wood, yep.
Yeah, you have a nice eco advantage as Leenock. If you can just kind of, if you can defend, if you cannot die to horse archers, I think it's possible. Oh, Hera went Kremlin because he was expecting the attack, I think.
Yeah, and that's a really bad choice. Yeah. No, I didn't. Right now I'd have, but I totally disagree with it because, or maybe maybe Leenock actually saw the Kremlin, so
yeah,
he was like,
oh yeah, I can just. Okay, no aggro, just go eco, and I'm just not gonna lose my units for nothing. I'm just gonna try to play this.
Leenock still has not changed the royal point, so he has lost 1 villager to that.
And he has some idle villas here as well, just kind of trying to gather those carcasses, right? So he needs to kind of maybe re-rally those elsewhere. Move those villages to like another point.
Maybe to the deer.
Yeah, exactly.
As I was saying, Caesar's Curse, of course. And we actually see some horsemen getting pumped out of that School of Cavalry just to deal with those archers.
Yeah, but there's spears in play, so it's not easy to deal with that, honestly. It's going to be like a lot of... There's a nice kind of unit, small kind of unit of those knights coming in. I think Hera can take this fight. I think she'd just be fighting this right now. I mean, sorry,
absolutely. That's a cleanup.
Yeah, Leenock's just going to clean this up, no shit. And that's actually very good for Leenock, because as we have already said, Leenock has a nice economy behind this. Like, I don't think Hera does. Hera has a single TC only, and that's it.
Hera is walling up. Hera is walling up, actually. While, yes, there is no way for Leenock to deal any damage whatsoever to Hera right now, as of now, because there's a Kremlin down, right?
Yeah.
You cannot just walk into it.
Yeah, especially with some units behind. But the thing is, did Hera go for Pro Scouts? No, he hasn't. Yeah, see, that's the thing. He didn't go for Pro Scouts either. In some matchups, I think it just doesn't make sense. Like, in people's heads anyway, it doesn't make sense to do this. And yeah, Leenock is going to try to look for the entry point to the base, but there's no entry point at all. There's nothing that you can kind of do to go in.
With those extra sturdy palisades of Rust,
no way.
Hard. So, before he gets through those walls, yeah.
In my mind, in my mind, those walls are like half a stone wall. Like, if I see this, I know I cannot cross it at all. Because it takes like 2 full minutes to kill this with like the units that Leenock has right now, so there is no you can get anything down here.
He's gonna try to wrap around, and once he realizes that there are walls on the other side as well, he's gonna be like, oh yeah, I just lost 2 minutes of the game basically running around.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you can't do much about this, right? You just have to kind of. I mean, Leenock would love. I think I would love both players to go for. I know this is kind of cursed strategy. But getting double TC at this point, where everything is so passive, may not be such a terrible idea overall.
Exactly.
Especially as Leenock, since you're growing so hard, I think you'll just double grow then with that. I think Leenock might actually have another idea. He might just go to castle first. Because he has like a lot of resources. I think Hera is also kind of shooting for that. I think both those guys are actually going towards that castle age up sooner or later. Kind of having realized how passive this game has become anyway. By the way, Hera has not still picked up that boar, so he does need to get that bonus soon, because that's obviously like some small amount of income.
That's 5% and a little bit of gold from hunting cabins, but in the late game it really matters. So I'd really love to see that like 5 spears and like 2 archers going through that boar.
But the problem is like there are not too many good places for those cabins right now. On this map specifically, I can probably try to get them here. That's the only good position.
Yeah.
There's actually a charge from those knights. And that's a nice engagement from me. I don't think he should be going though. He should kind of get what he took and just run away, because he took like 1 archer. That's actually a bad trade overall. That's terrible. That's awful. No bueno. No bueno.
The knight is 1 HP.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah. Weird. I don't think Leenock has a plan. Leenock is going to go up to castle, of course. Hera is going up as well, so it's going to be kind of equally matched. Here, I really love to see a second TC drop for Leenock, because obviously like, if you have the French economy, like the production from those TCs is just going to be amazing. So...
I think he's just trying to headbutt into a wall, like literally, because there's a wall of, palisades.
He's going to lose this trade, because there are just so many archers on the side of Hera, so he cannot just kind of trade against this. So he just wisely disengages.
He's been trying to headbutt, try to find an angle where he can't deal any damage at all, because he does win in open field, but Hera's base is not an open field, right? No. There's Kremlin, there's TC shooting at you, adding extra fire, so there's nothing you can do actually right now.
And the French need to have like a specific point of power, then you can actually just go and dive, like we saw in the previous game, but that's kind of far off still. The dive not necessarily on the cards yet for Leenock. He needs to have like some more stuff done before he is able to afford it. Obviously, like, a large mass of knights is also quite a necessity here if you want to be doing this stuff.
Absolutely, just to be able to tank.
Yeah, and Hera is not switching to gold, which I don't like, because this map is kind of this one has actually lots of gold shortages. And mining gold is not easy here, so
yeah.
And Hera's actually gonna take a very nice fight here too, so it's gonna be a kind of a nice advantage. Like small trades of course matter over time, so like getting those small kind of edges as you go into game is going to be quite nice. I don't like this placement with Siege Workshop either, because it's going to be very exposed. Like as soon as something comes out of it, it's going to be very exposed of a unit. Now it's actually going to be a forced fight from Leenock, so Leenock is going to commit here. He's going to try to at least trade evenly, I think he's actually getting a very good
Wait,
job
those are
done.
Those are very veteran Royal Knights.
Yeah. So
don't
you can
really care about any archers fired.
Yeah. And Leenock takes it.
Really...
I think Leenock might just take the series. I mean, take this game with this.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna clean up a lot of villages of the Rus. Hera very late to pull those villages back home, by the way, so he's gonna probably get like denied a lot. Also, those knights can actually fight forever almost. You can see this. So it is an army trade, but I do think that Leenock comes out ahead with all those villagers. Because you have to kill those villagers. You're gonna lose those archers anyway. You just have to go for villager kills right now, Leenock.
Yeah, go for
Go. 2 villages.
And yes,
3 lovely stuff. So that's what you need to do. Obviously, as the French, you're denying economy from your opponent. Very good stuff because you're just kind of building more. Leenock working 55 villages. Like, we can watch those archers die. But 56 villages to 43 is a big advantage. Like, Hera does need a second TC right now. I think he just needs to get the second TC going. Because he doesn't do this.
He gets the advantage with 5 relics, but you're not gonna be able to get 5 relics if the opponent has the map control, right?
I mean, he's
you're
on
not gonna
3.
be able to pick anything.
No, he's on 0 actually. I thought he was getting more, but I just kind of looked at the map. He has 1 here. He really needs to kind of get going with those monks because he needs to get those relics ASAP. He needs them pronto, man. Because if he doesn't get the relics, he's just kind of at a huge disadvantage already.
Absolutely, and we also see the sacred sites are not generated equally. One of the sacred sites is in the middle, and the second one is right next to Leenock's base, actually.
Yeah, that's not great. That's not great for Hera, because he would like to get that, of course, at least 1. And Leenock has full control over the middle of the map as well, so it's kind of good for him.
Absolutely. So the sacred sites are definitely not gonna be a thing for for Hera, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he can snag a few relics, but he definitely cannot get the relics north side of the map. Maybe he can get like 3 max.
Yeah.
Not many more. And with this amount of builds that he has, it's not gonna be enough, I think.
And yeah, he's gonna get walled in as well. You can see that actually, yeah, Leenock is being a smart ass. He's gonna try to wall this, but there's a monk here who sees this, so there's gonna be promptly denied, and there are some archers coming in as well. But it's gonna be quick wall, I think, right?
Yeah, it was quick walled, but at the same time that Vill's gonna die.
No, actually, without finishing this kind of final piece. That's a dead. No, he managed to get it, but he's dead anyway, because he can't run from this, can he?
There is no way out. Oh, is it really blocking that?
Yeah. Weird.
Mike, no.
He could have gone for any other relic, I believe, but he just went for the wrong one.
Yeah.
And this means Hera is actually going to be denied a lot of kind of potential sources of income, and Leenock is kind of booming right now, to be honest. He doesn't have double TC, but he's still kind of booming a lot.
Scoutable because of very reminiscent of a game of StarCraft 2 where you could he could block the whole ramp with just a single pylon.
Yeah.
The same thing was happening.
Yeah, the scout was just kind of standing there like a boss, just kind of denying access. Cool. So it's a counter push from Hera. I think Hera's gonna commit to this because he needs to get something done. He doesn't get anything done, he's just out, I think, because French are just gonna outscale him super heavily. And he doesn't have access to those kind of good old comps that were just kind of winning every fight. The host archers are no longer kind of a definite thing. He's gonna get the board, which is important because this kind of gives him the bounty tier, which is quite amazing.
Leenock has a lot of arbaletiers. There are not regular crossbowhunters or
No.
arbaletiers.
They can deploy the shields.
Upgrade.
Yeah.
With
Very
upgrade,
hard to
with
kill.
deploying shields, they are literally immune to archer fire other than longbowman fire, right? Which still deals like 2
he's
damage.
just gonna move forward and just try to migrate because the knights I think are taking over the fight, and he also does need to deal with those spears. So the knights can actually just do their best. So I think he's just forced to micro forward, and those shields do actually force them to stand still, right? Which is obviously not the greatest thing in the world. Leenock pulling a single knight over to the north, and there's still kind of a continued effort to push through. A single Springle, by the way, was taken down. I think Hera did actually expect there to be some sort of siege, but he just meets pure knight crossbows. And Springle is not the strongest unit against other units that are not siege anymore, so...
Not anymore, exactly.
It's good against villagers, but it's kind of bad against everything else. But it's going to be kind of a cleanup eventually. Those Arbaletiers could have probably shielded up, but they have not, so... It's a cleanup for Hera and not much done by Leenock, to be frank. Leenock could have probably just, in the meantime, secured those relics. That's something that he could have definitely kind of decided to do. Because he has map control. He could just kind of use a few APM and just kind of control those relics, I believe.
And now he lost the control of the sacred side in the middle, so it's gonna be taken by Hera, which is extra like 3 bills, I think. Finding gold, 4 bills.
Yeah.
Just not that much, but considering the amount of bills that Hera has, it's a lot for him. So we'll probably see his army moving towards that middle anytime soon. Once he gets enough spears to handle the Royal Knights.
Yeah, but you'd probably like to have crossbows and archers as well, right? Because you need to have some sort of gold unit right now as Hera, I think. I don't think the veteran archers cut it at this, but you need to have something that is just kind of good at dealing with enemies, but this is going to be a keep drop as well. So, Leenock knows what's up. And Leenock's eco is just gonna be crazy. I think Hera has 56 villages, Leenock it's 70 right now. 8 idle though because he hasn't built any farms here. But he's still kind of doing super well. He's getting a keep down, of course. And I think this has to be denied by Hera. Hera has to just go right now. If he doesn't deny this keep, he's gonna be in a lot of trouble. He's gonna force a fight at the very least. I wonder if like Leenock does commit to building this keep, or if he just kind of takes this fight as the villagers soak up those extra shots. Also, very kind of weird micro of those knights. I think he could have just kind of tried to do something more to those archers. I think this keep is actually gonna go up. There's gonna be the trade. Like Leenock decides to kind of give up on those villagers, but he's gonna try to get that keep up. Is he gonna? Yeah, I think he has enough. Right? He might just be able to get that one going immediately here. Oh no, he's gonna be denied. Actually, not enough units here for Leenock to get this to get that keep. He needed like some extra villages, I think. So he loses a lot of villages for nothing. But this is actually a very good fight for Leenock because of that. He was kind of distracting his opponent with those villages. So he forced the archers to refocus the fire. And honestly, there's no good unit here right now to deal with those veteran knights. So I think Leenock is just gonna take this.
Absolutely.
He has had better eco for a while as well. So that's no surprise. Like the key does actually go up as well. This is gonna be kind of the nail in the coffin, which Leenock does put into Hera's game. And you have to say that there's no additional relics in that, so taken by Hera, so Hera has no income at all.
He has 1 relic only, and that's really not enough. There are 4 relics, other relics on the map still. Yeah. So, and we have forward archer rangers coming.
Yeah,
from
so
Leenock,
that's because the French bonus means that they are going to kind of be cheaper. And Leenock is also gonna go in. No, yeah, he's gonna go in.
Yeah.
And he's gonna use the College of Artillery, of course. That's gonna be his siege. It's gonna just absolutely destroy Hera, because Hera, I think, is still spending everything he has on units. And that huge eco that, you know, Leenock was able to afford means that he's just gonna go imp. He's gonna have like a huge tier advantage. Really good control, because this keep is just gonna mean that there's nothing that you can do to siege this.
And he's gonna get 15% cheaper units from those archer rangers right next to the keep. So
and
that's
potentially
really, really
stables
big.
later as well.
Yeah. Not on top of having actually a lot better eco, so the amount of units that he can pump out is gonna be, I think, not stoppable for Hera.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be very hard to kind of stem this flow of units from, because especially that Leenock is allowed to build up right now. He has kind of this ramp up, like he has huge eco. He's ramping up his production. He's just gonna start streaming units out of this, like we're streaming Age of Empires right now. It's gonna be crazy amounts of stuff just popping out of those, stables and those archery ranges. And
he's gonna be able to, Mike. And once the first cannon comes out, the buildings right in the front of Hera's base are gonna be basically deleted.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's a siege workshop, right? Which is obviously
siege workshop. 2 buildings, so that's 600 wood, and like a few houses, and like a wooden fort, which is also 200 wood.
And you need cannons to deal with cannons as well, which is important. And that means that Leenock is gonna get that, especially he also is gonna get that +1 attack again on those knights. It's gonna be very, very strong position. I don't think Hera is just gonna take one last ditch effort. You have to kind of go right now even, that's kind of the worst part. Because you have to go into the keep right now. If you delay this any further, you just die because you have no resource to march the Imperial Age. And Leenock has all the money in the world to actually do things here. The only thing that baffles me, to be honest, is Leenock at no point in this game did go for those relics and for those sacred sites. He has had complete control over this game. I understand that no double TC because that's just kind of a noob idea from me, but I don't think that he should just underestimate the power of relics and sacred sites, because that's like a huge income of gold. Plus, you kind of force your opponent to fight you if you get double sacred site, which is kind of something you want to do with a keep in the middle of the map, right?
keep cannons and age advantage. Yeah.
And those are, by the way, the special French. Those are culverins, so he's gonna go against the siege with these. Those are
So
special
first-
royal cannons, which means they get like a lot of extra damage. 20% is a large number. So
Yeah, but they are extremely slow, so basically they're on par speed with elephants, which is not good. That's 3 mangonels actually from Hera, so that Calvary is gonna just one-shot them, I think,
yeah,
right?
the calf does
one shot.
306 damage, and these
One
are
shot.
just one shot. So Hera tries
One
to set up
shot.
siege, but yeah, that
One shot
calf
with
is just
superior range, yeah.
yeah. I
It's
think
not
Hera
gonna be
is,
able-
like Leenock is just gonna wait right now. He's gonna try to repair. He's just gonna wait for his opponent to go in him because he doesn't want to take a premature fight because then you might still lose the game somehow. But yeah, he just moves in the calf. Hera notices that he just has nothing to do. What do you against the Calverin? Like, there's nothing you have. Like, there's nothing in the Castle Age toolkit to go against the Calverin.
Oh, he misclicked the Calvary. Okay, never mind.
No, he's fine. And now the Calverin is still gonna keep one-shotting units almost, right? It does almost one-shot to the spears, and it does one-shot the crossbows, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be, oh, again, denied.
Mangonel.
Beautiful South Hero is dead.
Absolutely. And
GG. Clean stuff. Very clean game by Leenock on this. He kind of nicely controlled. I think Hera just
It's
kind of
1-1, right?
overreached. One more, yeah.
It's
Just gonna 1-1, yeah. We are 1-1
Perfect.
here.
Actually, that's a really even matchup for
Yeah.
both players.